Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Thanks for coming on out to the United Way Bass Classic. This is our 19th year doing this, and the overall winner is the United Way and all the recipients of the money that they actually help to distribute and all the charities they support. We had the Girl Scouts come out and we did a little fishing demo for them and taught them a few things between myself and Mark Johnson at Channel Lock. So we had the Girl Scouts here earlier. Some of the girls learned how to cast. They saw some different kind of baits, whether fishing for bluegill, bass, and Mark actually showed some of his musky baits. So some of the money from this tournament actually goes to help with a scholarship fund for the Girl Scouts. So we actually had them come in and gave them a little fishing lesson. And they had tons of questions, a great bunch of girls. And one of the questions, they wanted to know about the bass and bass fishing. So as we were talking, one of the things that kind of came up is, what kind of fish do the guys catch? Well, we only fish for bass in the Bass Classic here, and there's a couple different kinds of bass, and we're specifically targeting black bass. So in Conneaut Lake, there are two species of black bass. There's the largemouth bass and there's the smallmouth bass. But does somebody know how many different species of black bass there actually are? Does anybody know how many species of black bass? How many? A number?
5.
5? No, it's more than that.
10, 12.
No, that's right, it's 9. There's 9 species of black bass. Well, and since you got the right answer, in the first answer we'll give you a little bit of a prize here. So, right. Okay, so, yeah, you said 5. So, in Conneaut Lake, there's largemouth bass and smallmouth bass that the guys can weigh in. And in Pennsylvania, we have a third species of bass called a spotted bass. They're mainly down in the Ohio River drainage, and they don't really are up in the Conneaut Lake area. But throughout the United States, there's 9 species of bass that are regularly considered to be a species or subspecies of bass. There's a few other new ones that are just kind of very specific to a river drainage. They're just a real minor subspecies, and we're not going to really consider those, but there are 9. But what somebody else might not know is there's another type of bass that live in Conneaut Lake, and they're called white bass. And that is actually not a black bass. That's called what's the temperate bass, or the true basses. The true bass are white bass, striped bass, yellow bass, and white perch are the true basses. So what we're actually fishing for, the black bass, are more closely related to another species of fish. Does anybody else know what species of fish black bass are really more closely related to than actual true bass?
Carp.
Anybody?
Carp.
What did you say? Close, but no.
Carp.
What? Bluegill, that's right. So bass are actually related to bluegill, one of the type of fish that they actually eat is a forage base. Good job. Right. So there's also another black bass variety that is a saltwater black bass, and they're related to groupers and anthias, but of course that's saltwater bass, that's not freshwater bass. So in Conneaut Lake, we've mentioned the white bass. The state record white bass was caught in Conneaut Lake. Mike, I know you know who, and the answer I'm not going to ask you. Does anybody know the size of the state record white bass that was caught in Conneaut Lake? No? Okay, it was 4 pounds, and it was caught in 2002 by a gentleman named Bob Hornstrom. He used to be a member of Bassmasters of Crawford County for many, many years. They fished with the organization that's hosting the event, and he did very well on this lake. So, okay. Now, it's always kind of odd to me that there's all these subspecies of largemouth bass and spotted bass. Most subspecies of the black bass are either largemouth or spotted bass, but there are no true subspecies of smallmouth, and I always thought that was kind of unique. And so I started doing some research, and here I find that smallmouth bass travel incredible distances. They're really a lot more migratory than some of the other bass species. So what that means is they're more likely to go interbreed with fish maybe 100 miles away. They did studies in the Snake River, where smallmouth bass have actually migrated over 100 miles from where they were initially caught and tagged to where they ended up. And in one study in the Hudson River, a fish migrated so far that the biologists didn't even believe that that could actually really be the fish. They thought an osprey caught it, flew it over a mountain somewhere, and they actually followed the tracking device from the Hudson River way up to some mountain, way up in the mountains in New York, and it traveled like some crazy distance. So maybe it's that these bass are so migratory that they just don't have isolated genetics like some of the largemouth or spotted bass do. But I just find it kind of interesting that for some reason the smallmouth don't genetically diversify like some other fish. And even though we all love bass, in some states they're kind of like the junk or trash fish. I was on vacation in Colorado a couple years ago, and I was down at Ridgway Lake in Colorado, and there was a sign with a picture of a smallmouth bass at the boat launch, and if you catch a smallmouth bass in that lake, you have to kill it because they are not native to Colorado. They don't want them in their lakes. They eat the trout and compete with the forage base of the trout that are native there. So even though we love our smallmouth bass here at Conneaut Lake and in Pennsylvania, in some states and on some lakes, they're like enemy number one, and it's a mandatory catch and kill if you catch them. So, and of course the cutthroat trout out west are really big, and we have our trout here, our brook trout that are native to Pennsylvania. So we also have rainbow and the brown trout. But does anybody know where the brown trout is actually native to? Anybody? Where's the native? We could catch brook trout down at Woodcock Creek, or brown trout at Woodcock Creek, but they're not native to. I know Mike wants to answer. Nobody has. Somebody has to take a guess, because you win a prize. No. Nobody. Okay. Well. Yes, you're right. They're native to Germany and Europe. Okay. So, Rob, you win the trout fishing net. There you go. So there you go. That's not going to work for bass fishing, but yeah. So sometimes what's happened is species of fish have been taken from one part of the world or one part of the country and moved to other areas where they don't naturally belong, and that could cause some issues. And we were talking earlier about up on Lake Erie where the gobies have interfered with some of the spawning of the smallmouth, and maybe the smallmouth fishing up on Lake Erie isn't as good as it used to be due to some of these invasives. So a lot of these guys take a lot of time with their boats to make sure they're not introducing other non-native fish into whether it's Pymatuning or Conneaut Lake, and they'll check their boats and make sure they don't have any zebra mussels attached to it, or they'll clean out their bilges and their pumps. So if they're fishing Lake Erie last week, they're not taking an invasive species from Lake Erie and bringing it to another lake like Conneaut Lake or wherever else they might be headed to. And I think, unfortunately, they lost the battle on Conneaut Lake with the zebra mussels. I know there's some that's in there, but, you know, it is what it is. But the idea is we just want to try to suppress that as much as possible. So if you're going out fishing, make sure you dry out your boat beforehand, clean out the bilge, however you have to do that to make sure that you don't get any of these invasive species to any other lake. So it looks like the guys are kind of lining up here and getting ready to go. The word on the street is it's been a very, very tough tournament. We're certainly not going to see any records fall as far as weight, whether it comes to lunker or it comes to overall size. So we're going to have a lower weight tournament. The smallest limit, winning limit for this United Weight tournament was about 15.5 pounds. And that was back in 2005. And I was the unfortunate and fortunate winner of that. So I won the tournament, but I also had the smallest winning limit in the United Way history. That might be in jeopardy of falling today. I mean, these guys, whatever happened overnight, something changed. And guys went from catching a lot of big fish to it being really hard to catch a good limit. So a lot of guys did not catch a limit, which these guys usually can do a good job catching a limit of fish, but the conditions somehow really went downhill. Rob, I mean, how'd it go for you today?
Really tough, really tough. Had one bite. It was a dink this morning. Went 4 hours without a bite. We caught our last one with like 3 minutes to go. So we got a very small limit.
When it's a 6-hour tournament and you go 4 hours without a bite, that doesn't leave a lot more time for catching. That's kind of tough. So, nobody's really figured out, with all the technology out here, with all the sonar, side imaging sonar, forward-facing sonar, and all the technology out there that these guys, have some of these guys, there's $10,000 in electronics in these guys' boats, and sometimes you still can't predict the weather and how that's going to affect the fish. So you still got, the bite, exactly. So you still got to go out, you still got to give it a shot, and everybody's on the same playing field, though, right? We're all fishing the same lake, and there's definitely some guys, there are a lot of, they're poker players too. Do you think anybody's sandbagging? These guys they're not always, they're fishermen, right? So they're not always going to be totally honest with things. So, what do you think?
I would be surprised if 18 pounds doesn't win today, just from what I'm hearing.
Well, we had a couple of wins also in the 17-pound range. Maybe about 5 years ago, we had I think Ben Lippick may have won one of the tournaments with 17-some pounds also. So we have our first guys here already ready to weigh in. I'd like to this is Vince Lashiva and his buddy Corey Lynn. They were boat number 10. So who has bag with number 10 on it? Bag with number 10. Now, they're the first guys that weighed in. So since they were the first guys that weighed in, you get an extra little door prize. So there you go. Yep, you're welcome. Okay, so this is going to be the new lunker for the tournament. First, boat number 10. All largemouth. 1.83 pounds. Okay. And Vince, you have a limit. He has a limit of 8. Okay. So what we have is we have the hot seat over here. Anybody that doesn't know, the team that's currently leading the tournament, they sit over here and they have to face into everybody and wait to see if they get knocked off the hot seat with somebody else. Okay, so we have a 8 fish limit, 9.31 pounds. Whew. Man, Vince, that's tough, buddy. You got a limit, and I know that a lot of guys struggle to do that, so you at least got that part of it done. What did you use today?
Drop shot.
Okay, you used a drop shot all day.
Never put it down, we'd have probably had better fish.
So you tried to go away from the drop shot looking for better ones, and it didn't work for you. So if people don't know what the drop shot rig is, it's basically where you have the weight at the bottom and about a foot above the weight on the line, you have the hook. So the bait is actually suspended. How far above the weight did you? Okay, about 6. So Vince was doing about 16 to 18 inches from the bait on the bottom. So the bait sits on the bottom, 16, 18 inches above that is the actual hook, and that lets the bait hover above the weeds and above the bottom. And it's actually called a lucky rig in Japan. It was originated in Japan. But it's very useful on rough days because you usually use a lot smaller bait when you're drop shotting. And when the bite isn't good like it was today, it helps give you those extra little bites that might make the difference. So you're leading right now, right? So I guess you and your partner, he's dropped the fish out. You guys are ready for the hot seat then, right? All right. Well, go on over to the hot seat and we're going to, pardon me, 1.83 was lunker. I don't think that's going to stand. Now, it's a tough day, but it'll be really tough if sorry, Vince, man, but I just find it hard to believe that 1.83 is going to hold for lunker. Yeah, exactly. Sometimes those are throwaways, but for right now, it's good enough. Team number 18, Don Dick and Austin Bales. Don's the tournament director for the club at Bassmasters of Crawford County. And what do we have over here, guys? 4 largemouth. Okay, well, I think you're probably safe with only 4, but if they're the right 4, you might get knocked off. So, okay, that looks like that's gonna be a new lunker anyhow. 2.41 pounds. You know our display holding up there? Yep, looks good. Okay. Well, I told you Lunker wasn't going to hold, but you knew that, Vince. Vince fishes tons of tournaments. He's really successful. He knows that that wasn't going to hold. Okay, so here we go for a total. 6.89. Well, yeah, you held on for a little bit longer. Tough day for you, Don?
It was real.
Did you get much practice?
Yes.
Everything last night just did something?
Yeah, I don't know what happened. I don't know if that front that came through the other day just shut them down. We had a district and a club, and we had real good weights on both.
Now, the district tournament, was that last weekend? Okay, that was last week. Oh, 2 weekends ago. Okay. So Conneaut Lake has a steady stream of club and other tournaments that come through. This isn't the only tournament on Conneaut Lake for the year. So some of these guys fish some of the smaller club tournaments like Bass Masters of Crawford County. Then some of the larger state tournaments like the district tournaments, they come and they'll have tournaments on Conneaut. And there's some other organizations that also have events here. I mean, it's a great fishery because you could catch big largemouth, you could catch big smallmouth. It's just, there's a lot of fish in the lake, although it might not show us that today. It really is an awesome fishery. Oh, and here's last year's leaders just walked up, and two guys carrying a bag. That's always a positive sign. So Mark Hughes won this last year with just over 22 pounds. So that was Mark Hughes and Jeffrey Anderson. Team number one. Because they were the previous year's winner, they are automatically given boat position number one to start this year. Vince is already getting up to walk away. Well, no. Just hold on a second. We'll see. So they're going to weigh a lunker here? No lunker at all. So what do we need? How many? 4 largemouth, 5 largemouth, 7.93 pounds. That's a far cry from last year.
Yes, it is.
What's different?
They didn't bite this year.
That was very insightful. Any other thoughts?
They did not bite.
They did not bite. Okay, well, no first place, no repeat. Tough bite day. That's what everybody has to say. Team number 22. Okay, Dan, this works at Channel Lock. Dan, what do you have? 2 largemouth. Okay. You guys are still holding on over there. Then 3.08 pounds. They're not even going to weigh a lunker. A lot of time it's important to weigh lunkers if you think you might tie for a place for a money finish. Even if you don't have lunker that's 5 pounds and you only have a 4-some pounder. Team number 15, Chad Gregory and Greg Leslie. But like I was saying, sometimes the lunker weight is a tiebreaker. If 2 teams tie with the exact same weight, whoever has the larger lunker actually wins. 6 largemouth, okay. No lunker. So a lot of times, even if guys don't have a fish that will be lunker for the tournament, they're still going to weigh their lunker fish to avoid a tiebreak, for a possible tiebreak situation. 8. Well, that live well is working good. Yeah, how many fish? 6 fish. 8.64 pounds. I think, does that still hold for you guys? Still holding 8 point. These guys, they try really hard to keep their fish alive. If they weigh a dead fish, they are penalized a 1/4 pound per fish. So it's always in their best interest to keep the fish alive. Okay, so team number 6, Eric Marsh and John Bear. 8 largemouth. Looks like there's some decent ones in there, Eric.
We lost a couple good ones, but mostly small ones today.
Mainly smalls, but I think that's going to probably take that's going to take the lead. 11.87 pounds, and you're currently in the lead. Well done. Very good. So you guys go get your fish jumped. Eric, any pointers, any tips on what you did today?
Well, we fished mostly docks, you know me. And we threw Senkos, tubes, jigs under the docks. The bite seemed to be early, and it kind of died off as the day went on, which is unusual for a dock bite. Usually it's the opposite, so it was a weird day for us.
But it has you in first place right now, so all right. Vince already scooted from his position. Okay, we're boat number 20, Jamie Hughes and Justin Sullivan. We have a couple different, 4 largemouth? 4 largemouth. We have a couple different, if you look on your program, if you got one, we have several different Hugheses. 2 of them are related. Jamie Hughes and Steve Hughes are related. Father and son are both fishing as pros. 4.69 pounds. Because Dad has you beat, huh? Dad has you beat. Right, well, his dad is kind of a legend in this part of the state with all his fishing success, and Jamie's following in his footsteps, but you'll get your time sooner or later. All right. Team number 11, Scott Welker and George Wetzel. Scott, previous multiple winners in the past, 3 largemouth. This is very, Scott, my gosh, I'm almost speechless, and that's hard to do. That was a tough day for you, man.
Yeah, it was a real tough day. But a great event for a great cause, and everybody had a good time, I'm sure.
Absolutely. Scott's won multiple times. Is usually in a money finish. 4.17 pounds. That's far from your second place last year, but that's what they call fishing, not catching, I suppose. All right. Team number 3, Brian Weaver and Emmett Murphy. 1 largemouth. And it's not long. Well, today it might be so far. I mean, we don't have that. 2.14 pounds. And these teams are coming through quick today. That usually means they're not fighting for a lot of fish in their live well. Okay, what boat number we're at? Justin Welker and Gus Glasgow, boat number 4. 8 largemouth. Okay, we're going to see what we got here. No lunker. That might be enough. Eric, what are you at? What's your weight? 11 something. This 1187. This is going to be close. 11.66 pounds. Close, but good enough for second right now. So Eric's still holding on. He's boat number 6. Who has bag number 6? All right. Did you get a towel yet? More? Mike, no? All right. So he's holding on to first, so we're going to give you one. There you go. Yep, okay. Okay, what team are we at? Okay, boat 19. Rich Knoll, Bill Dross. 4 largemouth. No lunker. We're only maybe halfway through the way, and I don't remember ever having this many teams that don't have a limit. This is crazy. 6.85 pounds. So that's the thing. It's so easy as a fisherman to get dejected or feel like you're not having a good day. But you got to keep pushing through the day because you never know when your luck and fortune can change. And especially on tough days like this, you're so close to the hero. You're usually only 1 or 2 bites away from really being able to do something great in one of these tournaments. So you got to grind throughout the day. It's so easy just to want to give up sometimes. Oh, we're going to have a new lunker here. Boat number 13, Al Moore and Jerry Smith Sr. And we talked to Al on the water, and he said he had a good one. So he looks a little thin now. What time did you catch him?
Right before I talked to you, about 10 minutes before you came.
So a little after 10 then. 3.62 pounds. He's long, but he's a little thin. Yeah, he's definitely thin. You have a limit? Okay, and we got a limit. All largemouth? All largemouth, okay. There has not been a smallmouth weighed yet. Again, that's very unique. There's a lot of nice smallmouth in Conneaut. It's kind of odd to go this far into the tournament and not see a bunch of smallmouth.
Smith, did you catch lunker?
Who? Al.
Did he catch it? You know you got the luckiest guy in the world with you.
I know. Hear it. Not today.
Well, this might be enough.
We're done.
like that? Let's take a look-see. Rob tends to think it's a little bit better. It's going to do it. 13-1-6. We got a new leader. Lucky boat number 13. Who has bag 13? We got new leaders. Bag number 13. Nobody wants to claim bag number 13. I know I gave it up. There we go. All right, buddy. There, you keep your bag, too. All right. So, Al, why don't you get those put back in the water and get over on the hot seat there, all right? Mr. Wasco, boat number 2. How'd the day go?
It was rough.
What do you got? You have a limit?
We got a limit, but small.
All largemouth? Okay. So Greg Wasco and Aaron Baker, boat number 2, they have a limit of all largemouth. We're going to go through re-zeroing the scale. It wants to give 0.16. Wants to take away 0.16. Okay, while they're working for the scales, we're going to throw a football out there to somebody. Somebody take a football. Oh, there he goes. He got it. So you got to make sure the scales are evened out there. There's another football. That's a horrible spiral. That's why I fish and don't play football. Okay, so we're going to try to rebalance this. There's the other senior Hughes that has won multiple times, showing up at the scales. And another football. All right, we're back in business. We still got this going on? Or? Yeah, we do. Okay. So again, we're back to boat number 2, Greg Wasco and Aaron Baker. 8 largemouth. They're going to weigh. It was pretty solid. No lunkers. I disagree with that because this is a tight tournament, and lunker's a tiebreaker. They're a pretty solid fish. Mr. Wasco, you did a little better than you led on to believe. Well, that's a little guy there. I think we might have a new leader, though. 13-1-6, right? Currently leading. Nope, 12-16. Oh, they did. Well, a couple of those little skinny ones, I think, may have hurt you guys. Man, I thought for sure you guys were in jeopardy on that one. We have some drama back here in the weigh-in line. Some fish are trying to get back to the lake.
Either that or they're trading.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, we got boat 17, Ryan DeArmond and Randall Moore. Boat 17. No, Ryan, how many do you have, bud? 5, all largemouth? Yep. All largemouth. And we still don't have a smallmouth. That's crazy. Well, traditionally, the smallmouth are more moody of a fish anyways. Any of these bass guys could tell you they're more affected by the weather and moon phase and everything else. They're really a harder fish to try to target. Most of the time, a largemouth is a more consistent bite, and guys tend to focus on them more. I'm sure we'll see a couple smallmouth. Corey, I'm sure you have some smallmouth. No, my gosh. 6.43 pounds. This is really tight. Yeah, maybe they all decided to pick up and migrate. There's not too many places you can migrate out of Conneaut Lake, though. Boat number line, Ben Lippick and Casey Sirek. Ben, how'd it go?
Not very good. It was pretty tough on us today. We only got 7 fish.
7 fish. Ben has won this tournament 4 times. He's tied with the record for the most wins in United Way history with some other guy. He's an away lunker. It's a decent one. 3.39. Is that going to doesn't quite make lunker? Well, that's a good one to have. On a tough day like today, man, sometimes you just got to have a couple good ones.
Yeah, I think we made a mistake not going to docks earlier in the day. You know, we kind of got a report that somebody was catching them pretty good here, and I thought we were going to have to catch them pretty good as well. And it's turning out to be a low weight tournament.
12.18 pounds. 7.8. I'm sorry, there's a watermark on that. Yep, 12.78 pounds. So that's not quite enough. That might be second place, though. And you guys dodged another bullet, so. Let me use one of these United weight tiles and just look at that. All right. It's good. There was a water spot on it, and it just totally blocked up. Okay, Mark Zaitis. Four again. I'm just equally shocked as when Scott weighed in. I mean, Mark, that's rough. But what happened?
We had a tough day. It was just one of them days. It happens to all of us one time or another, and it just happened to us today. We had some chances. We did. We had some chances. But
4.53 pounds, all largemouth. Mark's been a previous winner, made a lot of money, cashed a lot of checks here at the United Way, but that's not going to happen today. Oh, well. All right, that's all that's important. Yep. Team 21, Don Neff and Bill Bucherri. What do we got, guys? One largemouth, okay. But we got a smallmouth finally. No. That's a largemouth. Okay. 2.83 pounds. Tom Rizzo and Nikki Hindle. Five largemouth, okay. And they're not going to weigh a lunker. So, Tom, what did you guys do today?
Mostly it was flipping, and Nikki caught him on a Senko.
Okay. And what have we got for weight? 7.71 pounds. Rob, do you ever remember a tournament this low? No. But you know what? That's great. Sometimes it keeps everything tight and interesting. Boat number 14, Steve Hughes and Sutton. I'm going to pronounce that wrong. Treziak. Okay. Do you guys have a limit?
Yeah, we do.
Any big ones?
Yeah, a few.
A few big ones. Whoa. Okay. Well, Steve has won multiple times. Hey, hold these up, Steve. I want people to see the difference between the largemouth and the smallmouth. You can see, show the crowds over here. The smallmouth is on the right-hand side. You can see it's brown with the vertical stripes versus the largemouth is green with the more horizontal stripes when it's swimming. So we finally saw a smallmouth. There's a really good bag there. But wow, well done.
Not enough.
Not enough? Okay. 3.10. It's a pretty healthy. I think you're going to have 13, right? 13. Al, what do you have, buddy?
I can't remember.
13.18? What?
This is better.
Okay, this is going to be it. Rob says more. 14.10. Have you guys by about a pound. Good job. What did you guys catch them on?
We had to go finesse again. We tried flipping, cranking. I lost one on a crankbait this morning, but we had to pitch a drop shot and little worms.
Well, you're back in the leader seat, so you guys get those fish dumped and jump down there on the hot seats. And so we have Steve Hughes there in the lead. Boat number 14. Who has bag number 14? All right. We're going to get you some United Way swag here. There you go. Okay, and we're rolling on here. Boat 7, Ryan McMogle and Paul McNulty. That's a healthy looking lunker. Boat number 7. It's a largemouth. 3.78 pounds. That's lunker so far. One smallmouth, 6 largemouth. 7 largemouth, excuse me. Okay. So you have a limit. There's a, before you get to the hot seat, you might relinquish the hot seat. You better.
All right.
Okay. Let's see what we got. It's going to do it. New leaders, 15.68 pounds. Okay, so it's lucky boat number 7. How'd you guys catch your fish today?
Drop shot, mostly offshore.
How long of a leader on your drop shot off the bottom?
15, 16 inch.
15, 16. All right, we'll get your fish dumped and get on the hot seat. You guys are taking the lead right now. Okay, who has bag number 7? All right, I'm going to get you some United Way stuff here because you guys now have the lucky boat number. There you go. Yep. Okay, so this brings us up to boat number 5. Oh, Billy Hines, there you go. 16, okay. Boat 16. Billy, how'd it go today?
We caught him pretty good. Caught him early off the docks, but I tell you what, I love this tournament. This is a fun time. Great cause. Excited for next year. Hopefully we can catch some bigger fish next year.
Do you have a limit of all largemouth?
We got 1 smallmouth. We called 1 smallmouth earlier, so can't complain.
What do you want to say, buddy? Say, go, Daddy.
Go, Dad.
There you go. Okay. So we're going to see what Dad has. 10.54 pounds. Hey, Billy, thanks a lot. And, yep, well done. At least 8. He had 8. 1 smallmouth. Yep. Okay, so now we're down to... Hey, how's it going there, Jay? How's it going? Going good, going good. What are you guys doing today?
Like everybody else. It started off great, and then it sort of dwindled, and then we started picking. We got 6.
6 fish. What boat number are you guys? 5. Okay, see ya. Yep. 1 smallmouth. 7.68 pounds. It is really tight in here with these weights today. Boat number 25. Yep. Barry Burford, Thomas Bills. 6. All largemouth? 5 largemouth, 1 smallmouth. Okay. Man, those look like the right size fishes. What were you doing?
Drop shotting. Yeah.
Drop shotting, but you just figured out how to catch slightly bigger fish. Is that at 11.55 pounds? Just needed 2 more of them, yep. Okay. All right, this is the one that boat number 12, Corey McClellan and Phil Piscilla. That's lunker. 7, all largemouth. So okay, we know this is going to be lunker. Who has lucky number 12, bag 12? Okay, you hold on 1 second because you're going to 5 pounds even for lunker. That's definitely the new lunker.
Corey, did you catch that? Hold it up.
It's just, yep, Corey, hold that up for the cameras. That's a nice looking bass right there. Well done. Okay, so he's 1 fish short. There's some solid. That's a solid fish there. Whoop, take the pin off. We don't want to add extra lead weights to the weight. Yeah. It's never been one without a limit. Right, this might be the first time. Corey, those are the right size fish, man. You don't need, when you're catching that size, you don't need to have 8. Oh. So, Corey, you came in 3rd last year. You had some rough years out here, but this year's looking like it might be, I'm going to take a look-see. It might be the one. Okay, let's get it on there. We already know he has lunker, and that feels heavy, too. 21.60 pounds. So that's going to definitely get you the win. So what we're going to do is lucky boat number 7.
Can you guys hold up a bunch of them?
We're going to get you some United Way swag here. So I think that's going to be everybody. So what you get
Right here.
is we got a towel here for you. We have a dry bag and there's a $25 gift card to Sheets. So, yep, that's boat lucky 7. That's what you got for that. And Lunker, of course.
Ryan, can you hold one or two up, Ryan?
And we're still going to give away a few more things here because we still have to get the final tally. But Corey came in 3rd last. Oh, I'm sorry, Robbie, you didn't weigh yet. I didn't mean to discredit you. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, man, that had to be a stressful trying to find number 7. Corey, why don't you come over here and talk a little bit more about your day? So, okay, so it looks like first and Lunker actually 21.6 isn't bad. That's pretty average for a winning weight. I mean, he just had some of the right bites. A lot of the other teams, it was a little more difficult, but on a tough day, 1 or 2 bites makes a big difference. I think last year we had 3 teams over 21 pounds, and a couple more. It took 19 and a half to make a check. So, you know, Corey did around 21.6 last year, and it was good enough for 3rd. This year, it's good enough for a win. So, you know, right, without a limit. And that's never happened in the United Way, that the winning weight was a non-limit. You guys gonna go weigh in? Okay, good, okay. So that's kind of, but you're saying you don't have that, huh, Rob? So we could be pretty sure that that's, but we still like to see your fish. Hey, Corey, why don't you give me a little bit rundown on how the day went for you today?
Rough.
Everybody says that.
We missed what? 3 fish? We missed, lost 3 fish first thing. And I was like, this is how it usually goes up here for me. And we caught one good one. I think the Lunker came first thing this morning. And then we had, I don't know, we just kept jumping spot to spot. And as soon as you thought you were fishing too slow, just fish slower. It was just slow.
What would you say was like the primary bait, if you're willing to give that information?
Drop shot. We caught, a couple little creature baits, and then jig was all day.
So, what, was it mainly a weed edge thing, or do you try to mix it up and do a lot of different things?
A little bit of both. We fish pretty deep all day. I mean, our big fish came out of like 22-foot water.
Wow, really? I'm sure that's a lot deeper than most of the. Maybe the front pushed the fish a little deep. That was above the thermocline, obviously. So.
The thermocline dropped about 4 feet since Sunday last week.
Oh, really? So, if y'all don't know about where the thermocline is, well, let's give it. You know what? I've been talking all day. Why don't you explain? You want to explain what a thermocline? Okay. So, what basically is, it's a temperature stratification in the lake. And what happens is when you get to so far down in the lake, temperature, colder water is more dense than warmer water. And what happens is the cold water will tend to sink in the lake, and the warmer water will rise in the lake. So you have 2 different layers of water, and that area in between is called the thermocline, thermo, temperature. And what happens is the water below the thermocline, because it's been separated from the warmer water above, usually loses a lot of the oxygen. So most fish can't live for a long period of time beneath the thermocline. So as Corey just mentioned, since Sunday, it's dropped 4 feet. So if it was at 18 feet, it's down to 22 feet. So a lot of guys, maybe they were fishing and catching fish last week, and maybe they can only catch fish in 16 feet of water because the thermocline was up and there aren't fish below there. When the thermocline drops and goes deeper, the fish then can go deeper. And if you're not in tune with the drop in the thermocline, you might be fishing shallower than some of the bigger fish may be. Corey understood what was going on in the lake. He fished a little bit deeper, and knowledge is power, and you use that knowledge to your benefit today. So, okay. Let's see what Rob has here. What do you have? 8 fish? 8 fish? 8 fish? 8 largemouth. Okay. And on a day like today, getting 8 is an accomplishment in itself. 10.57 pounds. Okay, so we're gonna finish doing some of our tallying here and figure out some of the other places. We already know who the winners are, but it's kind of a log jam up there for the other top money finishes. We're gonna take a moment now to thank our event sponsor, Channel Lock. Channel Lock's been here since the United Way started. They're great advocates for sportsmen in general, and personally, they've let me live my dream in the past, and I appreciate them for that, and I appreciate their support of this event. Our largemouth sponsors, Armstrong, obviously very involved in the community with not only outdoor events, but high school sports, etc. Community Chevrolet, Meadville Medical Center, the Gildea Group, Northwestern REC, Accutech Precision Aerospace, Ernst Seeds, Minnesota, I believe that's Minnesota Axe and the Movies, Penco Toll and Die, Erie Bank, Meadville Moose Lodge, Street Track and Trail, Tamarack Packaging, and VFW Post 206. We just want to thank all our sponsors. It really is appreciated. And all the money here collected by United Way goes to great causes, and they support us. So let's turn around and give our sponsors the support they deserve with our business. And a big shout out to all of them. Thank you very much. So we're going to get rolling with this right away. Okay, team number 5, the team in 5th place. Boat number 9, again, 4-time winner, and many-time check casher in this event. Ben Lippick and Casey Sirac with a limit that weighed 12.78 pounds. Ben, congratulations, but you still managed to come and get a check there, come in 5th place. Congratulations. They're going to want to take your picture over there and stick around for a group photo later on. And collected a little bit of hardware and a little bit of money. Not too bad for a day of fishing. Okay. 4th place, boat 13, Al Moore and Jerry Smith, Sr., with 13.16 pounds. Al, Jerry, come on up. Hey, congratulations, guys. Well done. Al, and this is a first-time money finish for you, right?
Yes, first time ever.
Senior, you've been in the money here before, have you not?
Yes.
You're a regular here. You're one of the good luck charms that everybody hopes they get to draw in this tournament through the years. So again, 13.16 pounds in 4th place. Well done. 3rd place, boat number 14, Steve Hughes and Sutton Treziak with 14.10 pounds. In 3rd place, Steve Sutton. Where you guys? Oh, there they go, right there. Very well done. A multi-time winner here for sure. Well done. Steve seems to cash the check many more times than not if he doesn't threat to win, so he does very well there. And 2nd place to the team of Ryan McMogle and Paul McNulty. 2nd place with 15.68 pounds. Ryan and Paul. Okay, and your first time here too. Excellent, well done, guys, well done. Hey, all you guys that have cashed checks and got plaques, stick around. And hey, we gave away the 1st place prize already, but I'm gonna give away a little something else for 2nd place for boat 7. If you have bag number 7, are you still around? Bag number 7.
Perfect. Congrats, guys.
Nope. Okay, we'll hold on to this for a minute. Okay, and the winner and a first-time winner, but a cash check several times in the United Way tournament. 1st place goes to the boat number 12 team of Corey McClellan and Phil Pasilla Jr. with 21.60 pounds. Well done, Corey. That's very close to your weight last year. What did you do last year? 21.4? Well done. Right, so actually I think I have on, well done, but when everybody else struggled, he still managed to have a pretty solid day today, and I just want to compare that to last year what his weight was. I know it was really close, and I don't have it. Corey had 21.68 pounds, so it was 8/100ths of a difference between last year and this year. That's consistency. Is anybody from bag number 7? No? All right, well, I'm giving the mystery tackle pack away, and it's going to this young man right here. It's a mystery box. There you go. All right, you're welcome.
Perfect. Thank you. Congrats.
Okay, and also, of course, Corey and Phil, we went through this already, also had Lunker for 5.0 pounds. Again, a heck of a great day, and I think Lunker deserves another special little door prize there, so whoever was boat number 12, still there, you're going to get one more thing. You did well, so there's another dime bag for you, all right? Again, when your team wins, you win too. Okay. I think that's we need all the fishermen here together for a group picture. If you want to call them all in here. Do we have everybody? Do we have everybody? Okay, hey, while they're gathering all the pros and amateurs for pictures, again, I just want to say special thank you to Channel Lock, Armstrong Cable, Community Chevrolet, Meadville Medical Center, the Gildea Group, Northwestern REC, Accutech, Ernst Seeds, MN Axe and the Movies, Penco Tool and Die, Erie Bank, Meadville Moose Lodge, Street Track and Trail, Tamarack Packaging, and VFW Post 2006. It's really exciting. I mean, we had a brand new winner this year. As much as I like to see some of the same old guys come up and win, it's nice to see some new guys win every now and then. We have a couple other money finishers that are brand new this year. So it's nice to see some new blood in the mix. But I'm sure, Corey, this isn't the first or the last time that Corey is going to have a really strong tournament here. He came in 3rd last year, so he has the win. And because of that, he is automatically granted boat position number 1 at the start of the tournament next year. The winning team gets to maintain their same amateur partner, and they also get awarded the number 1 boat position. To some guys, boat position matters, and the sooner you can go out in the tournament, because they go out in order from 1 through 26. Obviously, if you're boat number 1, you're going to get to the spot you want to fish before anybody else does. So there's always a little bit of an advantage that we give the previous winners to get out there and get their first choice, potentially of a spot. Corey has a fast boat. Nobody's going to pass him. So that's a special little advantage. He already knows going into next year that he gets to be the first one out the gate. So again, thank you all for coming today. It was a great event. The fishing was a little bit tough, but the United Way is truly the big winner. Thanks, and we'll see you all later. Thank you very much.